Have you ever looked at a coin and thought it was just a piece of metal? Just a tiny, everyday object passed from hand to hand, used to buy snacks or kept in jars, forgotten in drawers, and left at the bottom of bags. But sometimes the most unassuming objects hold the greatest value. A coin, small and silver, marked with the year 2006 and the denomination of 5 sen from Malaysia, tells such a story. To most, it would appear to be pocket change, irrelevant in a world that has moved increasingly toward cashless transactions. But to collectors, historians, and numismatic experts, this coin has become something of a legend. The Malaysian 5 sen coin is part of the country's long-standing series of coins issued by Bank Negara Malaysia. For many years, these coins circulated freely, with little attention paid to individual issues. They were functional, simple, and rarely examined closely. But as any collector knows, it's not always about what the item is supposed to be. It's about what it turns out to be. And in the case of the 2006 5 sen coin, what it turned out to be was something exceptional. To understand the significance of this coin, one must first understand the coinage system of Malaysia. The 5 sen coin is among the lowest denominations of Malaysian currency. Made of stainless steel, these coins are small in size and light in weight. Typically, millions are minted each year. The designs usually feature the national flower, the hibiscus, and the denomination value. At the time of their circulation in the mid-2000s, they were worth so little that many people wouldn't even bother to pick one up off the ground. Yet something unusual happened with the 2006 issue. There was an anomaly, a minting error, a mistake that turned a virtually worthless coin into a numismatic treasure. The details of the error were subtle, but to a trained eye, unmistakable. Some of the coins minted that year displayed misalignments, off-center strikes, or doubling effects on the letters. Others had anomalies in the metal composition or a faintly altered weight. These aren't things most people would ever notice. But in the world of rare coin collecting, these traits matter immensely. As the years passed, coin enthusiasts and collectors began to notice that the 2006 5 sen coin, specifically those with the rare errors, were not showing up as often as expected. They began to vanish from public circulation. Collectors began trading them, holding onto them, and investigating their origins. The more they looked, the more it became clear that this was not just a coin. It was a key to a rare and limited mistake in minting history. Only a tiny number of these coins were known to exist in this particular flawed form. Soon, stories started to circulate. A collector found one buried deep in a coin jar that hadn't been opened in years. Another discovered one in a coin shop in a rural town, mispriced at face value. There were whispers of auctions, online bidding wars, and private offers that kept climbing in price. People who had laughed off small coins were now scouring their collections, hoping to stumble upon the elusive 2006 piece. But how could something so minor, a small strike error, a misprint, or a metal defect, cause such a surge in interest? In numismatics, rarity is king. A coin that was never supposed to exist, or exists in extremely limited quantities, holds far more appeal than any perfect, mass-produced currency. And rarity combined with mystery? That's a collector's dream. The Malaysian 5 sen coin of 2006 began gaining coverage not just among hobbyists, but in niche auction houses and numismatic publications. The buzz was growing. Several examples were verified by grading agencies, assigned rarity scores, and labeled as error coins of high significance. Suddenly, what was once loose change had become a topic of serious conversation in collector circles. Collectors are not just interested in money, they're interested in stories. They want history, mystery, and discovery. They want to hold in their hands something that others have overlooked. And the 2006 5 sen coin offered all of that. It became a representation of how the ordinary can become extraordinary when viewed from the right angle. As demand increased, so did the coin's price. Online marketplaces began to feature listings for the coin, with bidding starting low and quickly soaring. Coin dealers began actively searching for the rare variant, hoping to acquire one before prices climbed too high. Even casual observers began checking their old coin piles. The excitement was palpable, and it didn't take long before one particular transaction stunned the community.